Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming. My name's Colin, I'm the founder of Clerk, and we build developer tools for auth and user management. I'm gonna share my screen. This is gonna be a bit of an engineering heavy demo. We're actually gonna add auth and user management to a brand new app. So I'm gonna call this the SPC Fair app. How should users sign up? We're gonna say email address, Google OAuth. We're gonna do the passwordless flow, a one-time password, whatever you wanna call it. And we're gonna require first and last name, brand color. I'm just gonna pick this lovely shade of green. So this is kind of our application dashboard. If you're familiar with developer tools, this might stick out. So we actually have a client API and a server API. The reason for that, it's really born out of the problem we're solving. Typically, dev tools, you need to have a secret key authenticating requests. For sign up and sign in, it's actually expected to come from an untrusted client. So we can expose our endpoints to the client and just save the developer a bunch of work. You'll notice that this URL looks a little bit wonky. In production, this actually becomes auth.yourdomain.com. And the reason we do that is so we can set secure HTTP-only cookies on your behalf, and that's really the gold standard for session management. Also, because this is like spun up one per application, there's actually DNS propagating in the background, and I didn't want to trust that for a 5-minute demo, so I made a separate app called Happy DNS ahead of time. We're just going to dive right into it and add Clerk to a Create React app. So I have, this was already running, and then I've also already installed our NPM module. And the first thing I'm going to do is just copy all of these imports so I don't have to do it line by line. From here, I'm just going to do everything live. So first step is calling load Clerk, and we need that client API I was talking about. And then we need to wrap everything in a Clerk provider component. This is a React context under the hood, and it just gives information to children about if the user signed in or not. Nothing's changed yet. We haven't actually done anything to change anything, so that's all expected. Now we're going to wrap this again in a signed in component. And what that means is that anything inside is only going to render if we're signed in. We're not signed in right now, so the screen just went white. The opposite of that is signed out. So we're just going to put a quick signed out message, and we're seeing that we're signed out. This is where the demo starts to move a little bit faster. Now I just added this sign in component, and this is the modal we just put together. We've got our lovely shade of green, and I'm actually going to sign in with Google because it's the fastest. And now, as expected, we're seeing the hello world again. So this is kind of successfully gated. I'm actually going to add in our own hello world, just so you can see how this works. So this is using React hooks, the use user hook we provide. So we're just saying hello to the user's email address. And I'll drop this in. Zoom really steals focus a lot and messes up my typing. But that's okay. So we're seeing hello, Colin at clerk.dev. And now, just to kind of drive on the point, like we're seeing a ton of consistency in the way people build auth and user management. So we made this user button component, and it's kind of what you'd expect, right? So it's just this button. Normally it's on the top right. I haven't positioned it yet. But here you can manage your account, right? We provide this whole screen. Users can come in, set up two-fac. Doesn't work yet, but it's coming together very quickly. The other thing in this user button is you could add another account. I will go through that. We'll sign in as my other Gmail. And now we're signed in as 2 separate Gmails, and I could switch between them. Last thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to sign out of all, and then I'm going to sign in again, but not using Gmail. And here we have to wait for an OTP code. I had Jeopardy music queued for you while we wait. And it just came through. A63345. And so we're signed in again. And the reason I wanted to do that, you'll notice that this Google OAuth profile picture is still there. And it's basically showing that we didn't create a second account right now. We deduped successfully, which is a big pain if you ever hit that before. That's all I got.